My name is Dr. Tapper. I am in private practice in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't wear a mask. I see over 200 patients a week. I come in close proximity with every patient that I come across. Why haven't I contracted this so-called disease? Americans make up 5% of the world population, but yet we take in 65 to 70% of the world's pharmaceutical drugs. We are one of 2 countries that allows pharmaceutical advertisements on the television. But yet 80% of Americans are suffering with a chronic disease associated with poor lifestyle choices. 700,000 people will die of heart disease this year alone.
Doctor, please bring yourself in order.
600,000 people will die of cancer. 300,000 people will die of obesity this year. When is enough enough? Outlaw tobacco and cigarettes. Processed sugars. I believe it was Thomas Jefferson who stated, if people let the government decide what foods they eat and what medicines they take, their bodies will soon be in a sorry state as those souls who live under tyranny. You see, God made your body self-healing, self-regulating. If you give the body what it needs, it can be healthy. It is like the wilted plant that sits under the sun. An allopathic model to that is to shield the sun, to protect that plant against the sun, cut off its leaves, medicate or vaccinate that plant. But an epigenetic approach, a wellness approach, is to give that plant water, and it can be well. You see, your body is no different. We must eat well, move well, think well, and we can be well. In other words, your level of health is the genetic expression of your lifestyle choices. These masks have absolutely nothing to do with health, but everything to do with the complying with a false flag, tyrannical agenda. If we sacrifice our precious freedoms for temporary security, we will lose both. If you can't comprehend that statement, if you are blind to this agenda, then I am sorry. You have the eyesight of an eagle, but the vision of a clam.
Okay.
Wow. Whoa.
There you go. So it seems to me that the doc needs to probably start the day with a little decaf. But that's just
well, listen,
that's me.
Patriots got to fight, baby. Well, you know what I mean? You can't just wallow through that.
I think if you're one of his patients, you listen to what he says.
Yeah, right.
You know, don't eat candy. Okay.
Yeah, the doc seems.
He looks like a badass.
It seems a little jacked up there. I'm not sure on
You know what? He's probably so angry. He's probably so upset. It's like he's seeing all this stuff going on around him. He's seeing people come in. He's like, what the heck is going on? And he finally got a platform to share his stories like those other doctors did before their video was taken down. I definitely relate to him.
There was, I believe, the Eyewitness News, G, if you have that poll that we had from 2 days ago.
From the same area.
This is in the same area, if you put that up. So would you patronize a business that doesn't require mask wearing? 90% said yes. And, of course, the next day, this poll was gone. You couldn't even find it.
Yeah, it said redirect 404, like page error.
Yeah, page error, redirect to Dr. Fauci's homepage, it said. So you couldn't even see that anymore. So this Dr. Fire Up here is from the same place.
Yeah. And listen, the love here he's getting on social media is great because, look, people are tired of being lied to. People are tired of not being free. I love that he used terms, from the Constitution. I love how he quoted Ben Franklin and Jefferson. And I love more than anything, he mentioned the term false flag because they're using this thing, this weapon, to me, that was made out of China, to destroy an election, to destroy an economy.
Well, when we made out of China, I listened to Kamala Harris yesterday. I thought Trump came up with it. No?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, Trump did it to kill old people. That's the conspiracy theory.
And because he got everything, like everything else he drove it into the ground, she said. So.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, the stock market is through the roof still.
So speaking of that, couple things, G. Go to picture 7, 8, and 9 here. So let's go 7 first. Couple things the president put out today. Take a look at some of these charts. V-shaped recovery in home builder sentiment. So look at that V. This is from the National Association of Home Builders. Massive new construction picked right back up. Next one. U.S. stocks. This is increased from your low of 2020. All the big exchanges across the world from their low with coronavirus, the U.S. has come back almost 50%. Japan's the only one that's close at about 37.
Keep boycotting China, everyone. Boycott everything Chinese.
Next one, G. So this is the shallowest contraction. This is real numbers, not CNN's 32% GDP. This is the actual real GDP.
Correct.
Right now, we're at 10.6%. And I heard Larry Kudlow, thanks, G. I heard Larry Kudlow say today that he would not be surprised if the unemployment number drops to single digits. And I don't think he's talking about 9.9%. Maybe to 8, maybe 7.5. So you can't make the argument yet that we're still not in somewhat of a V-shaped recovery. Everything points to it. The job numbers, those kind of numbers, consumer confidence numbers, everything points to picking right up. The only thing that's holding it back right now is places that Nancy Pelosi and her ilk are trying to hold it down. Yeah. Not opening, don't want the kids back in school, fear, 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 push the fear, push the fear, push the fear. And that's why you see doctors like this. He seems a little over the top to me, jacked up, but I like what he's saying. And I see Dr. Atlas, he absolutely sounds the most coherent and critical thinking and just talking like a normal critical thinking human being who's looked at the actual data, at the actual science, at what they know, what they've learned, what the numbers say, look at it, think about it, and think rationally about it. And he seems to be, at least as far as in the administration, the only one, as far as the doctors go. Because Fauci and Birx, Redfield, and the rest of them, although I have to say Redfield's been pretty good about the schools got to open.
Yeah.
But Scott Atlas is a welcomed breath of fresh air, I'll tell you that, from what I've seen of him so far. What do you think, Paul?
I love it. I love anybody who's not named Fauci.
There you go. That's your bar. If your last name is not Fauci, you're good.